From the Butler Center on the campus of St. Catherine University, we're proud to present the 4th annual MLK Day Classic, hosted by St. Catherine and the Minnesota Fury AAU organization. Our first game today features two teams who haven't played each other but could end up in the state tournament in their respective classes. The undefeated Raiders of Norwood-Young America take on the Raiders of Cretin-Derham Hall. Hello everyone, I'm Mike Peden, joined by Alex Nagel. And Alex, a lot of folks are wondering what is in the deck for this kind of a matchup. You don't see two schools play each other like this, but that's going to make for some very fun strategy.
Well, I think so too, and you look at these two teams, Mike, there's a lot of contrasts. You look at Norwood-Young America, for example, they have a lot of size. They have a 6'3" post, very versatile and a good shooter, and who can rebound and do a lot of stuff down low. Now, Cretin-Derham Hall, on the other hand, they don't have a lot of size. Rather, they rely on a lot of high-intensity pressure defense, so I would expect to see a lot of half-court and full-court pressure from them here this afternoon.
And with Norwood-Young America, they've made the 2A state tournament the last couple of years, got knocked off by Sauk Center. The player Alex was talking about, Brent Fox, averaging 17.5 points per game, and one of the leaders of this Norwood-Young America team who are hoping they can make a deeper run this year.
Well, I tell you what, they've certainly gotten off to a good start here this year, Mike, 14-0. They've really got a head of steam coming into this contest this afternoon, and you would almost have to think, at this point anyway, they're almost a shoo-in to get that #1 seed in their section.
Cretin-Derham Hall, part of a wave of Suburban East teams who are making a splash this year. Elizabeth Ettinger, and Franny Hottinger are two big reasons for that. And this Cretin-Derham Hall team, one of many who could get out of Section 4A.
I tell you what, you look at Cretin-Derham Hall this year and you contrast it with the last year. Now, last year they only went 8-8 in a very tough Suburban East Conference. This year, this has been a coming of age for this team, and I saw them play earlier in the season right at a Thanksgiving holiday tournament at St. Thomas, and I was very impressed with that team. They can really get after you with that half-court and full-court pressure. So this is going to be a fun team to watch, Mike.
No section implications on the line today, but a lot of pride and some momentum as the halfway point of the season is upon us. We'll have the starting lineups in a moment. You're watching the 4th annual MLK Day Classic here at St. Catherine. Cretin-Derham Hall at 9-2. Norwood-Young America undefeated at 14-0. And as Alex noted, the Norwood-Young America Raiders have a good chance of getting out of Section 2. They are far and away the top seed in the North branch, or the North Division. In the South Division, you have New Richland HEG, although they're not the school they used to be without Carly Wagner. And for Cretin-Derham Hall, they are currently the #3 seed in Section 4A, but they're in a tight battle with Woodbury, Eastridge, and White Bear Lake to get that top spot. And with Cretin in the middle of Suburban East Conference play, that will go a long way in figuring out where they're seated.
Well, I tell you what, this Cretin-Derham Hall team, like I said, when I saw them play back in late November, right around Thanksgiving for that holiday tournament over at St. Thomas, I was very impressed with what I saw. And like I said, they're not the biggest team out there. They only have 2 players on their roster at 6 foot. So they'll really rely on their defensive pressure to set up opportunities for them.
The only 2 losses Cretin has suffered were to Forest Lake, one of the many teams making a splash in the Suburban East this year, and Hill Murray. That one was a little more bizarre.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at the starters. For Cretin-Derham Hall, it will be Chanel Anderson Manning, #2, the junior guard. Haley Moore, #10, the junior forward. Autumn Mendez, #13, the junior forward. Franny Hottinger, #22, the sophomore forward. And Elizabeth Ettinger, #24, the junior forward. Norwood-Young America starts Cheyenne Wickenhauser, #2, the senior guard. Abby McIntoon, #20, the sophomore guard. Brent Fox, #23, the junior center. Samantha Miller, #34, the junior forward. And Callie Grimm, #45, the junior guard. And looking at the starters and at the rosters as a whole, these are two teams that are built to compete for the next couple of years.
Well, they sure are. I mean, both of these rosters are dominated by juniors and sophomores. And I'll tell you, one battle that I'm looking forward to here this afternoon, Mike, is at the point guard spot between Autumn Mendez and Cheyenne Wickenhauser. Now, Wickenhauser only 5'2", but she's a real spark plug for this Norwood-Young America team, Mike, and I want to see how she does today.
An exciting game, part of an exciting event. This has been going on 4 years, where St. Catherine has brought teams inside and outside the metro to play some basketball on Martin Luther King Day, one of many MLK Day events taking place around the state, as this holiday is becoming heavily associated with basketball. Cretin wearing the white, Norwood-Young America wearing the black. And the ball is stripped and stolen, although she stepped out of bounds, but I don't think Gary Lemke is going to be disappointed with Cheyenne Wickenhauser's hustle to start things off.
Well, right there you saw a prime example of Wickenhauser's speed and ability to create those kind of turnovers.
Norwood-Young America looking to stay undefeated. They're in the top 10 in the 2A rankings. Pass inside stolen, Cretin looking to run. And the transition bucket belongs to Elizabeth Edinger. Edinger averaging 13.2 points per game. There isn't one standout score for the Raiders. They prefer to spread it around a little bit. As you said, this is a team that likes to push to compensate for the lack of size. Norwood-Young America tries to utilize their size, and Brent Fox will go to the line for two.
Well, I tell you what, and you know they're going to be going to her a lot here this afternoon, Mike.
Fox has been on the varsity team since 8th grade. She started as a 9th grader. Tough rebounder, and her footwork around the basket is improving. And Norwood-Young America, we mentioned the plethora of young talent. Their leader has been around for a while. Gary Lemke in his 33rd season as head coach. Foul before the shot. It will stay with the Raiders of Cretin-Derham Hall. And for Cretin, this could be a breakthrough season depending on what happens to them in postseason play. They haven't made much noise since the days of Alyssa Carroll. If you remember, though, if you remember the talent and brilliance she brought.
Oh, yeah.
And later go on to Wisconsin. And Joe Lynch said that this is a team and a program that has some tradition. Haley Moore can hit the fadeaway that they'd like to get back to. Because before Alyssa Carroll, you had Kate Hampton, who went to Binghamton, was part of that state tournament team in 1999. Kate Townsley, that's who it was. Three on the way is off the mark from Callie Grimm. Edinger at a tough angle. Grimm comes up with a rebound.
And there's that pressure defense causing a turnover, and an easy 2 points for Cretin-Derham Hall.
That was Elizabeth Edinger scoring. She has all 4 of our points thus far. Wickenhauser feeding inside to Fox. Fade away, no good. Rebound, Hottinger. Franny will take it all the way and come up strong.
One thing we're seeing right away here, Mike, is Cretin-Derham Hall's ability to get into transition and create some opportunities.
McIntoon over to Wickenhauser. 15-footer on the way. Banking it in is Samantha Miller.
Nice delicate touch off the glass.
Miller averaging 8.9. Cretin fires a 3, is off the mark. Offensive rebound, Mendez, and she backs off. Those 2 wins that you noted in the St. Thomas tip-off event were both blowouts. Moore, elbow J, short. Rebound, Brent Fox. Fox, she'll fire and hit the elbow J of her own. We're tied at 4. Those Cretin-Derham Hall wins were against Benilde St. Margaret's and Totino Grays, two teams who aren't necessarily contenders, but the way Cretin was able to blow them out made a big statement to start the season. Moore missing the runner. And for Norwood-Young America, I joked with Gary Lemke about the prospects of perhaps getting Sauk Center again if they go back to the 2A state tournament. He said, well, if that happens, it means we're in the tournament, so he's okay with that. And as we noted on Saturday, as Fox gets the putback, as we noted on Saturday, if you make the state tournament, you get a guaranteed 3 games.
And I really like that idea, Mike. I think it's going to pay dividends for the MSHSL, and I think it's a great reward for all the teams that make it to the state tournament. Audra Clark of St. Kate's doing a nice job as our PA announcer here this afternoon.
Not surprisingly, a lot of the St. Catherine women's basketball players helping out. And one advantage of having your own Martin Luther King Day event, as Samantha Miller rejected Franny Hottinger, St. Kate's gets a chance to scout for potential additions to the roster for the next season and beyond.
Yep.
And that goes for any college that hosts a high school basketball event. Wickenhauser traveled. She shuffled her feet before dribbling.
One good thing about the Fox-Miller tandem is that they do a lot of high-low, and it gives them a lot of options.
13:31 left in the first half. Norwood-Young America, or Cretin-Derham Hall calls timeout. And the Norwood-Young America Raiders lead 6-4. With Norwood-Young America, Lemke really likes the depth this team has. And with Class 2A, it can be a little tough to speculate how that will manifest if they get to the state tournament. But for lower schools or lower class schools where the enrollment isn't as large, having depth can be a huge asset.
Right.
And he said the next few games will give them a clue about their potential. They have Cretin-Derham Hall today, and then they go back to conference and sectional opponents. They've got another game, or a couple games with LeSueur Henderson, and a notable game against St. Peter on February 6th.
That'll be an interesting game. St. Peter having a terrific year so far this season.
They're 12-1. And that's going to be a foul on Miller. So going to the line will be Franny Hottinger. Hottinger considered a great surprise, in the words of Joe Lynch. Missing the front end. Last year, Lynch noticed that Hottinger had the talent, but had some growing pains to deal with along the way. The biggest asset this year is versatility. She misses both free throws. Jaden Fritz is on the floor for the Raiders, number 13. Along with number 24, Anna McIntoon, who's fouled and will shoot 2.
Gary Lemke really likes McIntoon. Says she runs the offense really well.
Overcame some knee problems last year. Very nice outside shot. Anna averaging 7.3 off the bench. Season high is 16. She'll settle for a split here. And Norwood-Young America up 7-4. Moore cuts through and comes up strong. And I have to be careful. I'm going to lose my voice. I'll explain in a minute. Traveling violation on Anna McIntoon. So I'm getting over bronchitis. My voice is fine for today. I've been testing out the home remedies of apple cider vinegar, salt water, and honey. But as you can attest to on Saturday, there were a couple of photo finishes that did not do any favors to my vocal cords.
We've been through a few of those before, Mike, if I recall correctly.
Franny Hottinger completes the drive. And that gets her on the board.
Just a sophomore, 6 foot. She's posting it up on Fox right now.
Grimm for 3. Swish.
Now, Grimm has played varsity since the 8th grade.
Over 1,300 career points.
And you just saw why right there.
Wouldn't be surprising if she gets over 2,000 by the end of her career. Moore tried the baseline drive, and it's a kickball. Cretin subbing in with Page goalie, number 14. Skip pass is picked off. Jaden Fritz lost control of it, but it will stay with Norwood-Young America.
Another substitution in for Cretin-Derham Hall, Samantha Selman, 6 foot sophomore, checks in for Cretin.
She wears number 4. Grimm was fouled. I've come to a few St. Kate's games, but I've never called a game at this facility until today. The way this gym is configured, you get a real close-up view of all the action, even from up here in the track.
Well, it's interesting because I'm normally sitting down there in the bleachers when I'm covering games at St. Kate's for my blog, so this is a bit of a different perspective for me being up here.
We're close enough, though, that if you were down there, I could probably drop down some notes. Maybe a couple paper airplanes. Fox going inside to Grimm. She's doubled up. Now she'll work off the screen and fire for 3. That one's strong. Oh, board. McIntoon is fouled going up. Anna McIntoon, to be precise.
Well, right there, Mike, you saw a prime example of how good Norwood-Young America is. So tough to box out with that height. And they've got some great length, and they can get those offensive rebounds.
This is a team that's played more man-to-man defense than in recent years. And that's what a combination of depth and athleticism offers. Jump ball, the possession arrow favors Norwood-Young America.
Great job by Fox getting that rebound. That ball was actually behind her at first, and she didn't realize it.
The give and go, and McIntoon is fouled again. But free throw shooting has been problematic thus far for both teams. McIntoon, just 1 of 4. And Cretin-Derham Hall's already out of fouls to give.
And we're not even at the halfway point yet.
McIntoon hits both this time. She is now 3 of 6. And Norwood-Young America up 12-6. 3 on the way. Mendez cannot hit. But the high Karen bounces in her direction. She loses control. And ends up losing the ball.
Mendez did a good job of getting that long rebound, following her shot in, but she couldn't convert when she had the second opportunity.
3 ball. Wenich misses from the corner. A dead ball rebound to the Raiders of Cretin-Derham Hall. You notice how hard it is to mention Raiders and then have to add the definition when you have two schools that share the same nickname?
That doesn't happen very often.
Well, Cretin's used to it. Remember, in their own conference, they have another Raiders team in Roseville.
Yeah.
So it's not all that unusual for Cretin. I don't know how often it happens for Norwood-Young America. But NYA is a school that has sent a few All-Stars over the years. Well, that was an unusual backdoor play from Grimm to Anna McAdoon, but it works.
Great ball movement by Norwood-Young America, stretching out that Cretin-Derham Hall defense and getting the easy opportunity down low.
Mendez short on the drive. Ottinger comes up short as well. Norwood-Young America doesn't have the numbers to push. Fox from the 15-foot line. Lost the dribble. And Cretin-Derham Hall will call a timeout. Norwood-Young America, they're up 14-6. It seems like they could be up by a little bit more if they could work on their grip.
Well, they've definitely been very efficient on the offensive end. They haven't always been able to convert when they've had the opportunities, particularly at the free throw line. But they've been getting the job done on the rebounding front.
Now here's something cool about Cretin-Derham Hall. Every season, the girls basketball program does 3 community service projects. They just finished up a Feed My Starving Children drive where they package food that will be shipped overseas to help people in need. Another organization they help out with is Second Stork. If you're wondering what that is, Second Stork packages supplies that are given to your organization and provided to families who have newborn children but don't have the resources to afford toiletries and things of that nature.
That's something that head coach Joe Lynch is very proud about with his team. They're very actively involved in the community, and he wants his players to develop not only on the court, but off the court as well as individuals, and they're certainly doing that.
And he says it goes along with the mission of CDH providing service to others. Cretin-Derham Hall, part of the Archdiocese network of Minneapolis and St. Paul. They trail by 8, though, against the undefeated Norwood-Young America Raiders. Ottinger missed the reverse, but Cretin-Derham Hall gets another possession.
A good job by Ottinger grabbing that offensive rebound off of her own miss.
Ettinger. And she's fouled, so back-to-back reverse attempts for the Raiders. And Ettinger will shoot 2.
Well, down 8 points. This is where they have to get a little more aggressive, taking the ball to the basket.
Ettinger, a junior, started as a pure shooter, but now has a driving ability and a very high basketball IQ.
And just a junior, she has a lot more time to develop as well.
Makes both free throws. She's up to 6. And that ends the Norwood-Young America run for now. Cretin showing a little.
Haley Moore had a hand on that pass.
Cretin showing some full court press. Norwood-Young America breaks it, and that results in a transition bucket for Samantha Miller. Moore drives, comes up short again. Moore has struggled thus far. Ottinger with the steal. Moore pulls up, off the rim. Rebound will stay here. Samantha Miller touched it last.
And here we see Cretin-Derham Hall employing that half and full court pressure. It's giving them some opportunities, but they haven't been able to cash in.
Ottinger gets
Finally
the friendly bounce. I think they heard you and were tired of all the talk about missed opportunities.
Usually I'm more responsible for jinxing people.
On the other end, Norwood-Young America breaks another press, and Brent Fox gets the second chance bucket.
And that's an example right there where you've got to box out and prevent that.
Mendez. Looking for a seam, finds one, and gets a friendly bounce of her own. Autumn Mendez with the first basket. She averages 12.4 for the Cretin-Derham Hall Raiders.
Good job by Mendez avoiding the block by McIntyre, who was right there on defense.
Graham trying to work off another screen. Edinger stays with her. Fox has it. Now they try to work the way inside. And I've noticed with Norwood-Young America, they like to set up their offensive formation right around the elbow.
Yeah.
And try to lure Cretin away to set up a potential backdoor play. And because Fox was fouled with Cretin in the penalty, she'll shoot 1 and 1. Bren Fox averaging 15.7.
Missed those first two free throws early on, but she seems to have settled into a bit of a groove here. And then I jinx her.
Neither team shooting well from the free throw line thus far. Cretin-Derham Hall 2 of 6. Norwood-Young America 4 of 8. Pottinger committing a traveling violation. And Paige Goalie back on the floor for Cretin-Derham Hall. And that Cretin-Derham Hall team that had Alyssa Carroll, if you go back to 2007, strong player, but that year they were grouped in the same section as the St. Paul Central super team. Bren Fox scores for Norwood-Young America, so when it came to section play, Central blew them out. You didn't get to hear too much about them. But you had Alyssa Carroll, Molly Geske, traveling violation on Moore.
Molly Geske, of course, went to Gustavus.
And Norwood-Young America appears to be the more poised team right now.
Number 23, Abby Steika, I hope I pronounced that last name right, checks in for Cretin-Derham Hall. She's got a tough task trying to handle Wickenhauser.
Wickenhauser doesn't have a lot of size, but finds other ways to make life difficult. Fox had an opening, lost control, and that's a traveling violation. She lost control, collected the ball a second time, and pretty easy call.
One thing that Gary Lemke really likes about Wickenhauser is that she's really a vocal leader on the court, and those kind of players don't always grow on trees, Mike. She's a real leader out there, and that's the kind of player you like to have out there, a real floor general, and she's that.
Steika missing the three. Wickenhauser with the board. Abby McIntyre, blocked from behind. I think Mendez got a hand on it. But the ball bounces to her, and McIntyre gets a fortuitous second chance basket. Moore pulls up. Still hasn't found her stroke. And Callie Grimm, I believe, stepped on the line. That's what the official called. So Cretin catches a break.
One thing we're seeing so far here, Mike, is the size of Norwood-Young America really paying off on the rebound in front. They're making life very difficult down low for Cretin-Derham Hall.
Chanel Anderson-Manning can't fight through the double team. Ottinger had nowhere to go, and a foul on the other end on Steika. More free throws for Norwood-Young America. Cretin will be entering a meaty part of their schedule after this game. They host Edina tomorrow, a team with a couple of D1 caliber talents. And then they have 3 road games against 3 of their top foes in the Suburban East: Woodbury, Roseville, and Eastridge.
Talk about Murderers Row.
That's a tough slate of games. Chanel Anderson Manning missing the 3. And Norwood-Young America has a chance to build on a 12-point lead, 24-12. Grimm inside the paint, makes a count. And this 14-0 team is proving their might against a top 4A school. The official stopped play because a player lost a headband.
Fortunately, I don't have that problem.
It was in the field of play, so officials stopped it to get that piece of equipment out of there. Unless someone trips on it. We don't want that. Stika in trouble. Anderson Manning tried the bounce pass into Hottinger, and they could not connect. Another turnover for Cretin-Derham Hall.
Well, I tell you what, they're really struggling on the offensive end here. It's hard enough as it is to get into the lane to try and put up a shot, but when you can't control things on the perimeter, you've really got problems.
Everything going in for Norwood-Young America. Brent Fox hits the elbow J.
I tell you what,
and she didn't have much space to do it.
She's really got nice touch on those short shots.
Cretin-Derham Hall loses the ball again.
Anderson Manning off her foot.
.341 left in the first half. And Norwood-Young America leads 28-12. You're not always sure how a matchup of this caliber will turn out. Well, Cretin gets the steal. They have a chance for a transition play, and Haley Moore completes it. Timeout, Norwood-Young America. They 14-point lead, though. And Haley Moore finally gets her first basket.
And let's see if that provides a bit of a spark here for Cretin-Derham Hall coming down the home stretch of the first half.
Moore is the center of what makes Cretin-Derham Hall go. Tremendous defender and rebounder. But I was saying, you're never quite sure how a matchup like this turns out when you have a small school going up against a big school. And so to see a 2A program up by 14 against a high-caliber 4A team, it's a bit surprising.
A little bit. And, you know, there's still a second half to play as well, so
right,
a lot of things can happen.
But this only confirms what I'm sure a lot of Norwood-Young America fans are aware of, and that's how talented and deep this team is. Remember, they've been to the 2A state tournament the last couple of years. So this is not an aberration. The problem is they haven't been able to get past the quarterfinal round in those last couple of years because of Sauk Center.
And again, the interesting thing is, you look at Norwood-Young America, they're dominated by juniors and sophomores. And this may be the year they do it.
Long way to go, of course. And with Class 2A, there's always a sense of unpredictability. Plainview Elgin Millville winning the championship last year, traveling violation of Norwood-Young America. Minnehaha Academy, a perennial in 2A. You always have to keep an eye out for them. Sauk Center seems to find a way to get into that field every year.
Sauk Center is another one of those hard luck teams.
Mendez takes the handoff.
Nice little spin move by Mendez there.
She took the handoff from Hottinger, and she was blocked. But Cretin-Derham Hall trying to seek an opening.
I think the goal right now for Joe Lynch's squad is to see if they can get this thing back into single-digit range when they go into the
Whoa, nice
half.
fake by Hottinger. Sorry to jump on you, but
Oh, that's
Hottinger
all right.
pulled off a sweet fake going left to right, and she'll go to the line for 2.
Well, with Hottinger going to the line, this is a chance to get closer.
And if she put that in, I would have had to employ my no shouting rule to myself. Trying to keep that voice intact until this bronchitis goes away. I'll tell you this. To anyone out there, bronchitis stinks. Don't catch it. Hottinger makes both free throws. That puts her up to 6. We'll see if that gives Cretin a dose of momentum. Well, it just might. Norwood-Young America commits an unforced turnover.
Dangerous pass there.
The longer a pass, the more likely something can go wrong.
And now again, a big chance for Cretin-Derham Hall. Let's see if they can capitalize. Good job by Hottinger setting the screen.
Missing the elbow J was Ettinger. Jump ball, Cretin with the arrow. And that will give Norwood-Young America a chance to sub in Wickenhauser and Samantha Miller. Coming up at halftime, we'll show you some highlights of the prior game that took place between White Bear Lake and Prior Lake. White Bear Lake sweating out a 7-point win there.
They had to hang on.
Hottinger.
Moore. Good job by Moore.
And that effort allows Cretin another chance. Now, I thought Hottinger had a better opening if she had pulled up, but you'll never whine about a second chance. And we'll try again. White Bear Lake, as we noted before, one of the teams that could get out of Section 4-4A as they have done the last couple of years. Prior Lake could be a dark horse in Section 2 with Minnetonka and Edina. Ettinger for 3. Cretin could have used that one. Wickenhauser under
Another
pressure, and she
turnover.
throws it away. So Cretin-Derham Hall starting to disrupt Norwood-Young America's passing game. But can they translate that defensive effort into points? Anderson Manning.
Nice little give and go pass there, but again, unable to convert on that reverse layup.
They're doing everything but getting the ball in the bucket. Hottinger will try again.
Just no dice.
Somebody has sealed that rim shut for the Raiders, it appears. 10-second
Yep.
violation. Cretin's pressure is starting to wear out Norwood-Young America.
Well, good job by Moore and Mendez trapping there. They forced the player to go around. Took too much time.
Another defensive stop, but the Raiders of Cretin-Derham Hall have had trouble turning those turnovers into points. Mendez faked the 3. Ettinger doesn't have an opening, so she'll kick back out to Haley Moore. Ettinger, top of the key. Bullseye.
Wow. You had to figure at some point one of those were going to fall, and it did there.
And Cretin finally converts a turnover into points. Graham on the give and go, comes up short. Pass wasn't received cleanly. Norwood-Young America does have 2 fouls to give as we have 37 seconds and counting. But Cretin has a chance to add a little more momentum. Moore fakes the 3, bounce pass to Ettinger, or I should say Hottinger, comes up short, gets her own rebound, and lost the ball.
It's been a game of missed opportunities so far.
Cretin has to
Cretin-Derham Hall, it's not like they haven't had chances down low. They just have not been able to convert.
And that's what I was going to say. They have to find a way to put those in down low. There's the pressure again. It will stay with Norwood-Young America, but As Joe Lynch noted, this is a team that likes to put on the pressure, and they like to play fast.
Meanwhile, Norwood-Young America in a bit of a drought here.
They still lead by 9. Anderson Manning with the steal. Cretin has time. Will Anderson Manning go? No, but she'll shoot 2.
I tell you what.
Chanel Anderson Manning, she's on the track team, and I think we just got a burst of that.
5'7", but she's got quite a long reach and snared that steal. Just came oh so close to converting on that layup. But let's see what she does here at the charity stripe.
The left-handed speedster. She averages 9.2 a game. And she'll have to settle for a split. Norwood-Young America will let time expire. So their lead is trimmed a little bit, down to 28-20. But they do have the upper hand here. Cretin-Derham Hall, if they really want to change the outcome, they have to find a way to convert down low.
Well, I said here a little while ago when we were at the 240 mark, I thought the number one goal for Joel Lynch's team was to try and find a way to get this thing back into single-digit range. They've done that, but they've arguably missed a lot of opportunities down the stretch as well that could have drawn them even closer.
That being said, a long way to go. We have another half to play and only an 8-point game. So we'll pause and run highlights of the White Bear Lake Prior Lake game that took place beforehand, and then we'll return. You're watching the 4th annual MLK Day Classic here at St. Catherine University. And Alex and I return to the Butler Center at St. Catherine University, part of the 4th annual MLK Day Classic hosted by St. Catherine and the Minnesota Fury AAU organization. Norwood-Young America leading Cretin-Derham Hall 28-20. Leading scorer Brent Fox with 11 points, and she's impressed us for the first half.
Well, Mike, I think when you take a closer look at this thing, I think if you're head coach Joe Lynch right now, you have to feel a heck of a lot better about yourself than what you did at about the 5-minute mark of the first half when you were down double digits. Nothing was working on offense and you were getting out rebounded. They managed to step up their game a little bit, turn up the intensity on defense like they're very good at doing, and as a result, they got it back into single digits. Now, on the other hand, if you're head coach Gary Lemke, you have to feel, I think, a little bit unsettled right now because you went into a drought scoring-wise coming down the stretch of that first half, and you've got to find a way to dial up some more offense here, be a little more aggressive, I think, taking it to the rim.
Cretin-Derham Hall led by Elizabeth Ettinger with 9 points. Norwood-Young America undefeated at 14-0, and I had a chance to speak with Kevin Anderson at halftime, and he said this is a Norwood-Young America team that would like to get a seed in the 2A state tournament. They've been unseeded the last couple of years, run into Sauk Center, and lost in the quarterfinal round. But, as we noted in the first half, every team who makes the state tournament this year gets a guaranteed 3 games because they added, the high school league, a consolation bracket. Abby McAdoon is fouled, and she'll shoot 2.
Mendez came down with the arm on that one, drawing the foul.
And a quick reminder, there will be no Waseca Casamanderville or Winona Hutchinson game. Those games have been postponed due to the winter weather taking place in southern Minnesota. So we'll do this game and Glencoe Silver Lake and Somerset, Wisconsin. And those will be the final 2 games of the day here at this facility. And how about Samantha Miller stepping up for a putback bucket. Autumn Mendez gets the layup on the other end. And if Cretin can convert more of those looks down low, they've got a chance. I know that puzzled Kevin Anderson when I spoke to him.
Well, I think it's going to be very important for Cretin-Derham Hall to continue that momentum, find that spark that they found late in the first half.
What they lack in size, they make up for in speed. And Chanel Anderson Manning trying to use that to her advantage. Blocked on the second chance. And Hottinger had no place to go. Wickenhauser to Grimm. Over to Abby McAdoon. And an offensive foul.
Wow.
As we noted, this begins a rough stretch of games for Cretin-Derham Hall, with Edina, Woodbury, Roseville, and Eastridge all coming up. The most recent game was Friday, a win over White Bear Lake, 6 points there. Franny Hottinger scores, and as Kevin noted...
Nice move by Hottinger there.
As Kevin noted, all the suburban East
teams... And
there
she is with a pick.
There is Hottinger with the steal. Pass to Anderson Manning was deflected, and Cretin-Derham Hall throws it away. Another missed opportunity for the Raiders, who trail by 7. Grimm is fouled by Anderson Manning.
Will give Cretin-Derham Hall a lot of credit here. They've been picking and chipping away at that deficit. And right now, here in the opening moments of this second half, Mike, Norwood-Young America looks to be just a bit tentative on offense.
Three on the way, off the mark. Well, no lack of trying for Cretin-Derham Hall. As we noted going into this game, they were the number 3 seed in Section 4-4A. They get another steal. It's Anderson Manning. She's got a one-on-one, and she draws the blocking foul on Abby McAdoon.
Well, good job by Anderson Manning there, initiating the contact because she knew she was probably going to get blocked.
And when I spoke with Joe Lynch, who's in his 8th year as Cretin-Derham Hall head coach, 3rd year I should say, 8th season with the program, he said the biggest asset, the biggest development for this team was maturity. The experience, the AAU circuit. Haley Moore plays for 43 Hoops. They had an encouraging fall league session. The start at St. Thomas that you noted. The free throws leave something to be desired, but they're slowly chipping away. It's a 6-point margin now. And several of these players on Cretin-Derham Hall, they were here last year for the MLK event, and with St. Catherine close by along Randolph Avenue, these Raiders of Cretin-Derham Hall figured, hey, why not play in it? Grimm for 3. That's long.
I just see a lot of uncertainty right now in Norwood-Young America on the offensive end, Mike. Nobody's really willing to take charge right now.
Page goalie on the floor for the Raiders of Cretin-Derham Hall, number 14. Haley Moore, the skip, to number 4, Samantha Salmon. And another empty possession for Cretin-Derham Hall.
And you have to figure at some point, Mike, with all these missed opportunities that Cretin-Derham Hall has had, it's going to come back to bite them.
Grimm bounces over to Fox. Got it. Fox up to 13. Haley Moore lost the dribble, and it goes into the hands of Abby McIntoon. Breaks the pressure. Winich. Back to Abby. Short lob to Fox. They'll go inside again. Miller couldn't hit the fadeaway. Another steal, though. This time,
Callie Grimm.
it's Callie Grimm. Norwood-Young America leads by 8. Callie Grimm throws up a shot. Trying to draw the foul there. Refs didn't buy it. And Cretin-Derham Hall gets the ball back.
Hottinger back on the floor now for Cretin-Derham Hall.
Edinger drives and is blocked. Thinks Miller got a hand on it.
So hard to go inside with all those long, tall bodies.
Miller, the skip to Grimm for the bucket. Callie Grimm up to 7. Norwood-Young America back up by 10, 35-25. Hottinger used up the dribble and almost threw it
got
away.
another one.
Goalie. The high lob to Edinger, who will not nail the three-pointer. Norwood-Young America, 2-on-1. Callie Grimm with the finish. Norwood-Young America, undefeated, pushes their lead back to 12. Anderson Manning inside the line. Ooh, rims out. Goalie throws up a tough shot, and Fox blocks Hottinger.
Tough rebound by Salmon in there too, but they just could not get it to pay off.
Grimm missed a 17-footer. Anderson Manning with the rebound. In transition, hooks up with Salmon for the deuce. And a much-needed basket for the Cretin-Derham Hall Raiders. Abby McIntoon weaves through the hole and comes up empty. Goalie hands it off to Edinger, who draws the foul. .11:49 left in regulation.
Mendez checks back in for Cretin-Derham Hall, as does Abby Steichen.
Haley Moore also on the floor. Mendez lost the dribble, and it's picked up by Winich, who then loses the dribble herself. Tried to bounce it off of Moore's leg, but she was out of bounds when she touched the ball. And so Norwood-Young America unable to convert a fast break play.
And another bullet dodged by Cretin-Derham Hall.
Norwood-Young America, as you alluded to, They could be leading by a lot more right now. Not the cleanest game we've seen between these two teams, but they both understand the stakes. Another foul on Norwood-Young America. They both understand the stakes because whoever wins will get a little more leverage when it comes to section seeding or state tournament seeding. For Norwood-Young America, you beat a high-quality 4A team. Well, that'll look pretty good in the resume. For Cretin, you knock off a previously you would knock off what is right now an undefeated team. That could look pretty good, especially in Section 4.
Steichen took an extra step.
And Abe spotted that from up here. And in Section 4, with the top 4 teams, every win could be crucial. Norwood-Young America, under head coach Gary Lemke in his 33rd year, they're not all consecutively. Samantha Miller drives inside and scores, but he's been around long enough that he's not only coached the McInthunes, Abby and Anna, he also coached their mother. There's Autumn Mendez, who will shoot 2 after getting the offensive rebound.
Great shot by Mendez. In traffic, snaring that offensive rebound.
Autumn Mendez also plays softball. Likes to draw and play other sports. Softball and volleyball are the two. And in the words of Joe Lynch, she's physical, practices, and plays hard. The quiet lead by example captain.
She's definitely got the frame to be physical at 5'9".
Both teams shooting 50% from the free throw line. Cretin 7 of 14, Norwood-Young America 6 of 12. Cretin stealing the inbound play, and Anderson Manning turns it into a deuce.
Great job by Moore, and almost got another one. She got that steal in the last one. Knocked that ball out of bounds. Again, this is that full court pressure that Cretin-Derham Hall thrives on, Mike.
And with 10:27 left, Cretin-Derham Hall perhaps sensing a need to step up their pressure. McIntoon in trouble. Finds help with Jaden Fritz, who loses the ball. It went off her leg.
Well,
Or did it?
McIntoon almost dribbled herself into a corner, Mike. Now they're calling a jump ball.
And Cretin with the arrow. I believe, I didn't see it, there were 2 officials who gave separate calls.
Yeah.
It looked from here that Fritz bounced it off her leg. The officials could not make that determination, so they call a jump ball. And that's the go-to move for effectively a hung jury. So Cretin-Derham Hall has a chance to trim this margin further. Anderson Manning doesn't have the range, so she'll back off. Edinger draws another foul, and that's the last to give for Norwood-Young America. So Cretin-Derham Hall, if they're smart here, can work their way to the free throw line.
Yeah.
What am I saying if they're smart here? Of course they're smart.
And that's what they did in the first half.
That helped them keep pace with Norwood-Young America in the first half. And they draw another foul. So Haley Moore will go to the line for 1-and-1.
Gary Lemke standing across there on the bench with his arms folded, obviously not happy with the events that have transpired here in the last minute or so.
And as we've seen with Haley Moore, who makes the front end, She's the focal point of the diamond press and half-court traps, and in some cases full-court traps that Cretin-Derham Hall applies.
Well, those long arms, she's definitely got the reach to create a lot of havoc.
And she's worked with a lot of talented teammates over the years. That
Here
43
she is
hoops
again.
team. Haley Moore helping out, and Anderson Manning. Well, it's a good thing she didn't catch up to it, because otherwise it would have been Norwood-Young America ball. I was going to say Haley Moore working with some talented teammates over the summer. That 43 hoops team included Chrissy Carr, who won a 4A championship with Minnetonka. Moore missing the three. Rebound, Hottinger, she can't get the bounce. Haley Moore leans in, jump ball, Norwood-Young America with the arrow. The action heating up here with 9:18 left in regulation.
We'll talk about dodging bullets. Norwood-Young America may have dodged one there, but here comes the pressure.
Norwood-Young America breaks it this time. Grimm goes back out to Jaden Fritz. McIntoon off the screen. Hands it off to Grimm, who fires the elbow J, comes up long. Rebound Hottinger. Anderson Manning. Almost threw it away. And a foul is called on Abby McIntoon.
Yeah, and she took a bit of a shot to the face here. It doesn't look too serious, but she's still favoring it a little bit.
It was a bang-bang play.
Mendez.
In no way was she looking to intentionally foul
Yeah.
Haley Moore, but those are the circumstances.
Might have got a cut lip, I'm not sure. I can't tell from here. Anyway, Mendez back in for Cretin-Derham Hall.
And Haley Moore back to the free throw line. But she comes up empty there. And winning the battle for the rebound was Jaden Fritz. An empty possession for the Cretin-Derham Hall Raiders, and they can't afford too many of those with 8.5 minutes remaining, especially with how difficult it's been for both teams to score.
My goodness.
Anderson Manning pokes the ball away and will shoot two.
I'll tell you, with all these opportunities that Cretin-Derham Hall has created for themselves, it just seems like they just have not been able to cash in on all these easy shots and free throws.
And for both teams, this is a low-scoring game compared to what they usually get. Cretin-Derham Hall averaging 66 points per contest.
And another missed free throw.
And Norwood-Young America averaging 68. And both teams have been horrendous at the free throw line, hovering around 50% all day. And all those missed points for Cretin-Derham Hall, if you make a few more of those, you're in this game. Norwood-Young America, you make a few more of those, you have more of a cushion. And with 8:20 left in the second half, every point counts.
Looks like Abby Moore is getting a little attention on there on the sideline. I'm not sure she got a cut on the arm, but getting a Band-Aid on her, it looks like.
Anderson Manning missing both free throws, so Cretin having trouble. And Norwood-Young America gives them another lifeline. A traveling violation this time. Gary Lemke getting an explanation from the officials. I'm stunned at the flow of this game.
This is a little different, I'll admit.
Anderson Manning fouled. Oh, no, she traveled. Not the most fluid game I've seen this season. And Gary Lemke will call a timeout with 7:53 left in regulation. And while we're at this stoppage, let's uncover a few more fun facts with Norwood-Young America. Cheyenne Wickenhauser, her nickname is Shy.
Gee, I wonder why.
Likes to hang out with her friends. and would like to attend a 4-year college. Abby McIntoon, who was getting looked at by the trainer and still is, looks like she's okay, takes part in volleyball, softball, and choir, also likes to color. And Callie Grimm does volleyball, track, band, National Honor Society, and student council, and likes to visit historic places. Brent Fox takes part in NHS, also participates in the school's drama department, jazz, pep, and concert band, and volleyball and softball. And this all goes accordingly with what Gary Lemke told me about how outstanding his athletes are as students. Almost all of them average A's.
Very smart group indeed. Well, here we are, Mike, 7:53 left in a 7-point game, and it's really hard to wrap your arms around this and get a feel for how this one's going to go. We've seen so many missed opportunities for Cretin-Derham Hall.
And a lot of missed chances for Norwood-Young America to seal this one. Long two. That's off the mark, but Bryn Fox is there for the rebound. Haley Moore with the swat.
Fox with another offensive rebound. They've got to figure a way to box her out.
And that's Anna McIntoon, who's in there trying to make something happen. We have a collision. Ottinger picks it up. Cretin has a 2-on-1. Ottinger bounces over to Manning, and she's fouled.
She went down pretty hard. Getting up pretty gingerly as well.
Limping off a bit. She did miss her last 2 free throws, though, so Cretin-Derham Hall will have to worry about that as she goes to the line. Cretin is in the double bonus the rest of the way with 7:08 left, but they've had trouble converting their free throws. 9 of 19. Chanel Anderson-Manning with 4 points, hoping to add to that figure here.
And this is another one.
What is it with these rims?
I'm not sure.
They have not been friendly for either side today. Finally, Anderson-Manning gets one to drop. That makes it a 6-point game. Look out. Well, Bonnie almost got a ding from the basketball.
Anderson-Manning got her hand on that one.
Abby Winich back on the floor for Norwood-Young America.
This is just one of the strangest games I've ever seen, I think.
It's one of the most unusual in terms of all the unfinished chances.
Ooh,
that was almost a carry. But you're right, neither team able to put a stamp on this game.
Guess who?
Not quite. Anderson-Manning had it for a moment. Kelly Grimm drives, comes up short. Offensive rebound, Brent Fox. And if nothing else, as Gary Lemke calls another timeout, this allows Norwood-Young America to eat up clock. And when you're up by 6, with as difficult as it has been to score points, chewing up time may not be a bad strategy.
Yeah, they need something, just something to calm them down, settle them down a little bit. They really seem, and really since the beginning of the second half, they've just seemed out of sorts on offense.
Again, after this, we hope to bring you the Glencoe Silver Lake and Somerset, Wisconsin game. Again, no Waseca Casa-Manorville or Winona Hutchinson. Those games will have makeup dates. I don't know if they'll be here, but those 4 teams, again, I was really looking forward to seeing how those 2 games would have played out, because those are 2 or 4 teams that all have a legitimate chance of making the 3A state tournament. Waseca over in Section 2, Winona and in Section 1 and Hutchinson in Section 6 with Orono. Bren Fox hits a turnaround jumper. And that could be a key basket here with 6 minutes to go if Cretin can't find a spark in offense. Moore.
Thought about
up the three.
The three for a second.
Takes the long two instead and comes up empty. Wickenhauser, guarded by Anderson Manning. Kicks out to Grimm for three. Good ball movement, but nothing doing. Cretin-Derham Hall trying to push. They will not be able to. Ottinger too far underneath. And she can't get the second try to go in. And a foul on Cretin-Derham Hall. Another unfinished chance down low.
I don't know if I had a ledger, if I could count all the missed opportunities that Cretin-Derham Hall has had in this game here this afternoon, Mike. It's just uncanny.
And if they aren't able to come back, that is going to be the difference.
Yeah. And five coming down on the 5 minute mark. Time is beginning to be a bit of a factor here. Wouldn't seem like it with 8 points, but the way this game has been going.
An 8-point lead could feel like 20. Bren Fox draws the foul and will shoot two.
And I'd expect now that Norwood-Young America is going to make a concentrated effort to get the ball into Bren Fox and let her do damage from the free throw line.
And as sluggish as this game has been, Gary Lemke wants to preach to his players every year to enjoy the game. Sometimes we forget about that in the midst of our points and rebounds, wins, losses, tabulating all of those figures. He doesn't want to see what he's doing as a job, and he doesn't want his players to view this as a job. Bren Fox makes both free throws. That gives Norwood-Young America a 10-point advantage, and that may be enough with the way this game has unfolded. Haley Moore. She's passed up a couple of threes. Edinger can't hit one. Ottinger works her way in for the O-board, throws it up, gets the bounce, and one.
I tell you, Ottinger has been everywhere today for Cretin-Derham Hall. She finally gets one to go down, in traffic no less. Sometimes it seems when they do it the hard way, that's when it goes for them.
And as we said, in a game like this, you need every point.
And converts a three-point opportunity with the and one. So here we go, a 7-point game again with just under 4.5 left.
And a timeout has been called. .427 left. I imagine if you're Norwood-Young America, you may feed Bren Fox. She has 17 and has an advantage in height down low. But if I'm Gary Lemke, I'm warning my players about Cretin's pressure defense because now is the time where they'll likely apply it.
Yeah, I think this is now when Joe Lynch is going to dial up that full and half-court pressure. He really doesn't have any choice at this point than to roll the dice and take his chances with that. On the other hand, if I'm Gary Lemke, first and foremost, I want the ball in the hands of my point guard. That would be Cheyenne Wickenhauser. Because if there's anybody who can handle that, it's her.
Norwood-Young America hoping to preserve their undefeated record at 14-0. Cretin-Derham Hall hoping to go up to 10 wins. Those are the stakes. Norwood-Young America breaks the pressure. Grimm was poked from behind. It will stay with Norwood-Young America, though. And we'll try this again.
Ottinger created that steal. So
Otto
here we go.
Mendez picked up the ball. That pressure applies to inbound plays as well. Offensive foul.
Wow.
Mendez called for the elbow. And Cretin-Derham Hall deflated after that call, but it
I thought
like the right one
Mendez
from here.
did a good job of initiating contact. It didn't look to me like she lowered her shoulder or anything. And here's another steal.
Edinger lays it in.
Just like that, down to 5 points.
And you have to appreciate the grit of Cretin-Derham Hall. You get beat on an offensive foul that costs
And
you a
here's
basket.
another steal.
And here they are, forcing steals all over the place. Anderson Manning lost control, alertly bounced it off Wickenhauser, and the Cretin-Derham Hall Raiders trail by 5. 3:43 left. Still a lot of time.
My goodness, when they strike quickly, don't they?
They strike hard and fast, almost like alligators. Abe is wondering, alligators? Why am I still doing this?
Wow.
A beautiful layup for Elizabeth Edinger. And now it's a one-possession game. Cretin applying the pressure again. And now, with a pair of baskets for Cretin-Derham Hall, Norwood-Young America can't be as cozy in terms of killing clock.
Yeah, the complexion
Anderson
of this
Manning
game
with the
changed
poke.
dramatically. Here we go again. Look at this.
Edinger waits for help. Moore out to Edinger. A lot of time left. And a foul from behind. Abby Winich bumped Otto Mendez. And remember, double bonus, so 2 free throws automatically for Cretin-Derham Hall.
I think we've seen almost everything today.
Otto Mendez, a player who becomes more patient with age. And then Joe Lynch has said Mendez is doing a better job over the years of letting the game come to her. And she makes this a 1-point game.
And almost another steal by Abby Moore.
And the Cretin-Derham Hall fans applauding the effort.
By Haley Moore, excuse me.
Cretin-Derham Hall trailed by 10. They've scored 9 in a row. Just when it looked like they were going to fold away, they strike with a new sense of vigor. But will it be enough? Anderson Manning fouls Jaden Fritz.
Well, the one thing
that puts Norwood-Young America in the bonus.
The one thing that Joe Lynch of Cretin-Derham Hall points to with this squad, right at the top, was maturity. How this squad has really come together. And this is a very young team, mind you, Mike.
Jaden Fritz, who has not scored, will try to extend the lead for Norwood-Young America. Fritz averaging 5 points a game. And she makes both. Makes it a 3-point game again, but we have an eternity. 2:54 and counting. Edinger drives, gets the high, bank off the glass.
I'll tell you what, Edinger has come up big here in the last couple minutes, Mike.
Anderson Manning called for another foul, and she's not happy about it. That is her 4th personal foul. Back to the free throw line for Norwood-Young America. This time, it's Mary Winich, who hasn't scored much this season, just 6 points. This is a big trip right here. Empty possession. Cretin-Derham Hall can take the lead if they wish. Mendez comes up short. Maybe a little too quick.
My goodness, Hodinger almost a steal, and now trouble for Grimm.
Enough to make Gary Lemke call a timeout. 2:24, 45-44. Just a couple minutes ago, it looked like Norwood-Young America was going to slug their way to a win. Cretin-Derham Hall has made that far less certain.
Do I see shades of Osseo and Bloomington Kennedy from Saturday night?
My voice would not appreciate that. It's already getting a test. But what a comeback for Cretin-Derham Hall, fueled by the full court defense.
Well, considering all the missed opportunities that they've had just in the second half alone, it's really amazing that they're where they are right now. Now, of course, the big test with 2:24 left is, can they get their nose out in front?
And someone who has stepped up on the offensive end is Elizabeth Edinger.
Yeah, she really has. You saw that one layup down there where she was really off balance and fell on the front end. And then that drive along the right baseline here just a bit ago.
Well, in crunch time, the one intangible that both teams often bring is determination. Doesn't matter how clean a shot looks, you are just more than determined than heck to make it go in. Sometimes that willpower is enough. Now both teams in the bonus. A little over 2 minutes to play, 1 point game. Grimm, corner three. Off the mark, Mendez with the rebound. Cretin with another chance to take the lead. Mendez to Edinger. This time Cretin will wait and look for a good move. Now Mendez needs help. Finds goalie. Anderson Manning none on the floor right now. Cretin can't find an opening. At least not yet.
Good patience by Cretin-Derham Hall here so far. Here's more.
Can't get the bounce. And that ate up about 30 seconds of clock. Now what do you do if you're Cretin?
Well, you're still got a good chunk of time left on the clock. You're only down one. Let's see if they can get a stop here.
Remember, no shot clock, so Norwood-Young America could elect to hang on to the ball and not do anything.
Almost thought they were going to call a foul on Edinger right there with that reach-in.
And if Cretin can't force a steal, they may have no choice but to foul.
Wow.
But Edinger swoops in to tie up Grimm, forcing the jump. Cretin with the arrow.
I'll tell you, what a second half here so far for Elizabeth Edinger. I mean, she's just been everywhere.
Timeout, Cretin-Derham Hall. And our partisan camera operator is loving this photo finish that's brewing. Now we love Abe. 48.9, Cretin with possession. Norwood-Young America now has the arrow though, so if they tie it up again, that would be huge. Cretin-Derham Hall in the double bonus. Who do you go to in this situation?
Boy, that's tough, Mike. I'll tell you what, if I had to bet on it right now, my guess is that they try to go either Mendez or Hottinger down low to see if they could possibly draw the foul and take their chances at the charity stripe. But the interesting thing here right now is Chanel Anderson Manning is back in the game, so don't count her out either.
Cretin-Derham Hall won their first 6 games to start the year. They're winners of 3 of their last 4. Would like to make it 4 of their last 5. Plenty of time. They trail by 1. Who's it going to be? Moore lost it. Recovers. No, traveling violation. Norwood-Young America's defense, you have to give them props for staying with their assignments here in crunch time.
Well, they can still foul now. But here's the thing. I thought Moore was just a little bit hesitant in making that initial move. She made it, but she wasn't sure about it, and that cost her.
But Norwood-Young America keeping their defensive formation intact, not giving Cretin any good looks on the last couple of possessions. And now Abby McIntoon goes to the line. Remember, this is still 1-1, so if she misses, that means the ball is up for grabs, and that's exactly what happens. Moore picks it up.
Here we go again.
Deflection. Edinger recovers, tripped up, no call. Cretin has to foul here.
Wow.
Lemke calls another timeout. I don't believe this. Cretin has had every chance to win this game, and if you go back and add up all of the missed chances they had down low earlier in the game, this could be a much different score.
Well, I said in the early part of the second half, Mike, that all those missed opportunities may come back to bite them, and we're seeing that right now. I mean, when you're this tantalizingly close and you just can't quite find a way to get over, this is when you look back and you say, what if?
And remember, what's at stake in this game? These two teams won't see each other in state, but when it comes time to section seeding at the end of the season, well, this is a game the coaches will take a good look at, especially in Section 4 with as crowded as Suburban East is.
Exactly.
And if Cretin is unable to complete this comeback run, coaches may weigh that when it comes to selecting their seeding.
Well, here they come with the pressure, as you would expect.
And there's the foul on Jaden Fritz, so she'll shoot 2. It's double bonus now for Norwood-Young America.
Jaden Fritz looked like she took an inadvertent shot to the nose, but she's okay. In fact, was getting looked at by the referee for any possible blood. But
And Norwood-Young America, they're no stranger to nail-biting games. New Ulm, 2-point win there. Glencoe Silver Lake, the team we're seeing next, they escaped with a 4-point win. Most of the wins have been runaways, but they've had to sweat out a few close ones. Gibbon, Fairfax, Winthrop, another one. Jaden Fritz makes 1. She cannot make this a 2-possession game by herself, but hitting the second one would be big, considering that Cretin-Derham Hall hasn't gone to the 3-point line.
no, they really haven't. That's been the surprising thing here all afternoon.
Fritz sinks both. Cretin needs a 3 to tie. And Joe Lynch will call a timeout with 10.5 seconds. You need a 3 to tie. Who do you want taking that shot?
My first bet would be Mendez. I mean, she is their point guard, and I would think she would be the most apt to get an opening where she could uncork one. But I wouldn't rule out Hottinger either if she decides to come out on the high-low.
Elizabeth Ettinger, the only player to hit a 3-pointer today, and she has just 1. Again, Cretin-Derham Hall not favoring the 3-point shot today. And now, with 10.5 seconds in the game, you have to go to an area you're not necessarily comfortable with.
Question now for Norwood-Young America, this game almost becomes a version of basketball chicken. Do you try to attack on defense or do you defend?
And remember, Norwood-Young America has the possession arrow, so if they can force a tie-up, that would almost seal the game. Moore has it. They need a 3-pointer. And there's the steal. But a traveling violation on Wenich. 4.8. Cretin still has a chance. Wenich got the poke, fell on it, but dragged her feet. The Raiders.
Maybe you might want to take a drink of water before this.
Here we go. 3-pointer's blocked. Hottinger goes up, that falls in, but not enough. Time expires. Hottinger with the basket, but Cretin needed 3 points, not 2. And Norwood-Young America withstands a late Cretin surge to stay undefeated, 47-46 the final. What a finish.
It was, Mike, and I'm wondering maybe if Hottinger was hoping to get, possibly draw a foul down there to create the 3-point situation, but alas, it didn't work out.
So Norwood-Young America stays undefeated, and they can use this win for Section North State Tournament seeding. Remember, they're trying to get into that seeded group in 2A.
And this win today could go a long way toward getting them there. And I think, also when you win a tough game like this, a nail-biter against, a good team from a higher class, it really will go a long way in determining the seeding.
And for Cretin-Derham Hall, they can't gloat about this one, or should say they can't be too glum about this for long, because they have a game tomorrow with Edina and plenty of high-quality games coming up in their schedule as they continue Suburban East play.
And again, if you're Joe Lynch, I think you're going to look back at all the missed opportunities that they had, particularly in this second half, whether it was in transition or from the free throw line, and it came back to bite them.
So that wraps up our coverage of the first game here. We'll have Glencoe, Silver Lake, and Somerset, Wisconsin in a few minutes. And then we'll wrap things up here from the MLK Day Classic at St. Catherine University. Norwood-Young America beats Cretin-Derham Hall 47-46.